Well, a lot of us work in the construction industry. We have people out in the field that are working in the construction industry. And one of the major concerns is we're putting people out there and not necessarily giving them the right protection. They're surrounded by hazards every day that seem a lot more ominous and immediate, but protecting your skin and skin cancer in itself is also a very real hazard on the job. OSHA has also felt that this is a pretty important problem in the construction industry, and even in 1992, they issued an interpretation of skin cancer, 1910-132, stating that employers have a duty to protect workers who are overexposed to solar radiation on the job and risk of serious death or harm. We've also seen the state courts and workers' compensation board also be more conscious of this work-related injury. In many states, we're now seeing employees being awarded compensation for contracting skin cancer because they're bringing it back to a hazard from the job. So more than ever, it's really important that part of your protective gear be sun protective clothing, especially for those guys that are out there on the rooftops. This year, we also saw another exciting movement in the realm of melanoma. Our nation's doctor, the Surgeon General, had issued a call to action. And in this call to action, it's trying to galvanize and bring together groups, both political action, communities, associations in the construction industry, to stand up and take notice that skin cancer is a very real issue. The 5 goals that can kind of be brought out of this 200-page document, because they're always in for lofty interpretations, but really there's just about 5 key issues that can be pulled out of this call to action. They want people to increase the opportunities for sun protection in outdoor settings, creating awnings, shade. Provide individuals with the information they need to make informed, healthy choices about UV radiation exposure. Promote policies that advance the nation's goal of preventing skin cancer. Reduce harm from indoor tanning. And strengthen research, surveillance, monitoring, evaluation related to skin cancer prevention. Because really we all need to go see our dermatologist every 6 months and check out our skin. So now I'm going to tell you a little bit why you don't want melanoma and why you want to avoid this at all costs. In fact, this is one cancer that you can prevent. On November 23rd, 2009, at the age of 45, I was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic melanoma. I was given 6 months to live. Not the kind of reality check anybody wants to get. And my new job, so to speak, was to stay alive. We did some preliminary research and found out there weren't a lot of treatment options. And it only took one bad burn to increase your risk of melanoma cancer. I grew up on a farm, spent most of my time outside, enjoyed the elements. And I also did my time in the tanning salon. As you know, back in the 70s when I was growing up, the big promotion was, hey, go to the tanning salon, get a base tan. It's healthier. You'll get that warm glow. But you know what? Let me tell you something. Tanning beds look like coffins for a reason. Did you know that if you spent at least 10 times in a tanning bed, that increases your chance of melanoma by 70%? I mean, whoa. What are the odds of that, right? Didn't know that in 1970. We did see with the dawn of the tanning bed, we did see melanoma cases go up about 200% as well. So it's definitely a real issue, and there's a lot of legislation out there right now that are trying to block the use of tanning beds. And I don't know, how many people have kids on college campuses right now? Any kids in college? See how many dorms have their own tanning salons at the bottom of the dorms, and your little debit card that you give to your kids, they can use that on campus to get a tan. So just be aware. So now I'm going to take you on kind of a little journey on how this story kind of raveled out and why it became kind of such an adventure. It was September 7th, 2009. I woke up the day after my 45th birthday thinking, you know, I still got it. You know, I'm good. Went out, went on a great run, feeling good, and all of a sudden my body just started to short circuit. You know, melanoma is some sneaky son of a bitch, kind of like that. I had no idea what was going on. Came home, got in the car, decided to drive myself to the emergency care center because it just didn't feel right. They kept me in the hospital, did a bunch of tests, and said, wow, you got some funky lesions going on here. We think it's MS. MS? What do I do with that? Well, you need a neurologist. A neurologist? I don't even have a general practitioner. Come on. So started researching, found one of the best neurologists. I went in, neurologist looks at me, runs some tests, and he goes, yeah, that ain't MS. You need to go to your general practitioner. So I did. A lot of tests, a lot of scans, a lot of blood work, finally the PT. And the waiting drives you crazy because this stuff doesn't happen overnight. And in my mind, I kind of started stressing a little bit that something's going wrong. So I knew I had to do something, and I had to do something fast. So the Pac-Man in my head started eating up the bad cells. And I figured, you know, mind over matter, right? I can take care of this. Nothing's going to get me. And then the call comes. Pow! You have cancer. I'm like, whoa. How bad is it? Well, your PET scan lit up all over. I mean, lit up like how lit up? Like lit up like a Christmas tree? He goes, I've never heard it's called like that, but yeah, your lungs, liver, lymph nodes, uterus, whatever you have, it's everywhere, and it's bad. And you better get your life in order. And I thought, whoa. Well, the next problem is naming it. And there are so many variations and types of cancer that you know, and ways to treat. So the only way to biopsy it is I had like some pretty large lesions all through my liver. So they decided that they would go in with a needle. So as I was laying on this cold steel bed, just sedated enough to listen to what they wanted me to do, the doctor comes in with this big needle and he says, don't move. Oh yeah, right. And it might hurt. Well, I gotta tell you, if a doctor ever tells you it's gonna hurt like hell. And it did. And I moved. And I punctured my lungs. And I was thinking, oh my God, can it really get any worse than this? So it took about 2 weeks to get the final pathology. So all the time wondering what really do I have and how do we really fight it? And then I got the phone call. The night before Thanksgiving, you kind of, you know. And I thought it was kind of odd. My doctor called me 8 o'clock at night, but it must have been important. He said, you have stage 4 metastatic melanoma. Huh, isn't that skin cancer? I am lucky. I've drawn the cancer card. I'm gonna be fine. People don't die of skin cancer, right? So he was silent, and he said, you know, treatment options haven't changed in 20 years.